Hey, Joseph here. I recently came across a chair named ErgoChair 100 as ProtoArc has recommended it. Therefore, I requested one for a review sample and they have provided me with this chair. As a full disclosure, the chair that I had bought to use for the past 2 years after long research was Herman Miller Sayl. I have a whole bunch of reasons that I chose Sayl over other Herman Miller or other brand of chairs, so if you're interested in those reasons, please let me know by leaving comments down below. I may do a video on that. Anyways, at a quick glance, $190 ErgoChair 100 seemed like a good alternative for $730, the most basic level Sayl. So I've decided to try this out, and it has been 2 months since. And TLDR, I have completely switched over to ErgoChair 100. And within this video, since I know a few neat hacks of improving your office chairs, I'll be sure to mention those. And I also want to set the premises that I understand that everyone's body and needs are different from mine. So on this detailed comparison video, I may go into nitty-gritty details that may not apply to you all that well. So be sure to take whatever that I'm about to say with a grain of salt. In any circumstances, if possible, I would highly recommend trying the chairs out before you commit to one. But I do understand that it is not always possible. Then you also found the right place to just kind of go over the differences and the similarities. As always, I'll be quite detailed on this video, but I'll provide timestamps for you to skip to the parts that you would like. Nonetheless, there's going to be a lot of good information that could help you choose the perfect chair. If you're aware how both of these chairs originally look like, you probably have noticed that these chairs don't look like the product pictures. I didn't break or cut anything, I just removed some parts and added some accessories to them. The most obvious part is the armrests. I always remove the armrests on my chairs as I get nerve pain on my elbows if I use the armrests. I had them to the point where I couldn't even move my arm due to the pain, as I didn't know it was actually the armrests that was causing it. Now that I know the cause, I simply remove them. On Sayl, you can simply pull out the bottom plastic cap to release the arm out. And there is a very useful video that I have found on YouTube, so I'll be sure to leave a link for it. On ErgoChair, it is much simpler. You just don't have to assemble the armrests, or just unscrew the screws at the bottom of the seat and they will come off. In ErgoChair, it also comes with a headrest. ProtoArc probably doesn't like me saying this, but I don't really like headrests on chairs. I have a tendency to lean forward and turtleneck as I work, and the headrests kind of promote this posture for me. And that's why I prefer to sit on a lower back chairs that doesn't have the headrests. Thankfully, ErgoChair's headrests is actually easy to remove if you already have installed it. Just undo a few screws and your headrest can be with the armrest that you have taken out. I feel bad stripping out a new chair down to a bare minimum, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Actually, there are 2 things that I always add to the chairs. I always replace the casters, the wheels. Chairs usually come with very plasticky ones, and depending on the room floor types, concrete, hardwood, short or long carpets, it may not be as easy to wheel your chairs around. Or you may simply want to protect your hardwood against those plasticky wheels. People often get floor mats for these reasons, but I think it is much easier to replace the wheels or the casters. They're only about $30 and they roll like this. In order to do this, just flip the chair upside down, simply pull the plastic ones out, then push the rubber ones in. And as a second point, unfortunately, I've always had these gas lifts go bad after a year or 2. This is a part that makes your chair go up and down, and I've had issues like sinking down even after I have lifted it up, or as I sit down, the chair is going to push down several inches, and as I stand up, it's going to pop back up. Perhaps I gained too much weight, but that's what has happened quite often. And I even had times where it just simply stopped going up and down as I pull the lever. And this has been the same regardless of cheap or expensive chair. They were just always the part that went bad the first on the chair. Mind you, the manufacturers were actually good about providing the replacement parts. Send me the gas lift, or you can get them from Amazon quite cheap as well. But getting them out of the seat is the pain. These are pressure fitted into the seat, and metal to metal combination is just really hard to get out. Your weight has been driving the shaft into the base further and further over the years, and some guides online will tell you to use hammer or pipe wrench, but unfortunately they will not come out easy. I have replaced a handful of gas lift, and I can tell you they were not fun. However, I found this device. 2 metal rings, and you can put these right below the seat and use an Allen wrench to push the gas lift out. Only about $20 on Amazon, and it made the whole process so much easier. So actually, for this video purposes, I was trying to demonstrate how I can take out the gas lift using these 2 metal rings. However, I failed in doing so. No matter what I did, I could not get it out. So yeah, it remains very difficult to do so. So let's just move on to the next point. And this actually serves another purpose. You can lock the ring at the bottom of the gas lift to prevent the gas lift from sinking or pushing as you sit down. So even if you don't plan on replacing the gas lift, you can use it in the interim. Obviously, you can no longer lower the chair after installing it, but I don't really need to adjust my chair height after I set the desired height. And my Sayl started to drop 2 inches as I sit down after 2 years of usage. So locking it with the ring meant that I don't need to change the gas lift. I have not yet seen any issues with the ErgoChair, but I still just added the ring because I thought I would be able to use this gas lift for a longer period of time since I'm not constantly pushing on it. And that concludes my hacks. So let's move on to the actual comparison of the two. Again, because everyone's body is different, your mileage will vary, and you might be taller, more fit, or thinner than me. For reference, I'm about 5'6" and 170 pounds. So as I said, just take my words with a grain of salt. And I guess it's sort of similar things about these chairs. I really like the mesh aspects of these chairs or other chairs. Sayl has a flexible plastic mesh. It feels almost rubbery. And ErgoChair has a stretchy fabric-like material. Sayl's back is probably more durable than ErgoChair's. And Sayl's back is lowered at 20 inches or so, clears my head when I'm leaning back, whilst the ErgoChair doesn't, since it is 22 inches. And ErgoChair kind of flares out at the top as the Sayl kind of narrows up, which allows me to stretch my arms backwards instead of getting blocked on the ErgoChair. Perhaps call me weird, but I can actually roll my neck on the top frame of ErgoChair and actually get a decent massage. Probably not an intended feature, but I do this quite often now. Because I have the most basic Sayl, mine does not have the added lumbar support, whereas on ErgoChair it does. I initially thought that this would be too much of a protrusion on the back, but after sitting on one, I realized I actually do like it. My normal working posture is to put my feet up when working. This prevents me from leaning forward as I described earlier and allows my lower back to be well supported by the chair. Both of the chairs allow you to lock the back so that the back of the chair doesn't lean backwards anymore. And there is a pressure knob you can turn to adjust the leaning pressure. I normally don't lock the back, but I adjust the pressure up enough for me to lean back and stretch occasionally. And this is when I do my neck roll. If we look at the seats of both chairs, the seat cushion on ErgoChair is more thick and softer, whereas on Sayl, it is firmer and thinner. I prefer Sayl's cushion, but they're both very comfortable. ErgoChair seat is quite much bigger than Sayl. The width and depth are both about 20 inches, but ErgoChair is square shape while Sayl is circular. If you spend a bit more money on Sayl, you could get the one that you can adjust the seat depth, but the seat depth was never a problem for me nor a reason to spend more money. One thing I have realized on the ErgoChair is the fact that the front feels dropped a bit compared to the Sayl. So this makes me feel like I would slide down if I were to lean too far back. Not really a problem since I'm not actually sliding down, but I feel like I would, so it's a weird feeling. But I'm not sure if this is whether due to the shape of the seat versus the firmness of the cushion. Again, this may not be a popular opinion, but I don't like chairs that make a lot of noise. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of expensive chairs with lots of adjustments available making those kind of noise. And I think makeup of the Sayl seats on the basic one that I have and the most adjustable ones are exactly the same. This meant that it has a lot of moving parts at the bottom of the seats, and some are made with plastic. I think a lot of them are, and making noise when I'm moving or kind of adjusting my posture on top of the chair. This was actually not present when I first bought the chair, but it just started happening. And other Sayls that I have tried on the office that are used all suffered from the same problem. Actually, other more expensive chairs such as Aaron suffered from the same sort of problem. The plastic thunk sound when I'm moving around and getting up is just too darn annoying. So thanks to ErgoChair's simple metal construction, I don't have that problem. I suppose this is because it doesn't have the plastics under the seat. I don't think I will have the same noise problem even if I use this for a long period of time. If it ever happens, I can probably spot it because things are just kind of open rather than all enclosed into plastics. When it comes to the base of the chair, I will include the gas lift into this portion since it is all below the seat, and the gas lift on the Sayl is slightly taller, allowing more adjustability. I suppose I like sitting a bit higher than average people, so I've extended the ErgoChairs to the tallest right now, and I installed the ring to prevent it from going down at all. And the replaced casters, those actually have larger wheels, therefore it increases the height of the chair as well. You can find taller gas lifts if you would like to, but right now it's just tall enough and I didn't want to go through the trouble of replacing the gas lift. I don't know if you can tell, but I really don't like replacing the gas lifts. I've done it enough times. Aside from all of that, both have the plastic star base. If I were to pick, I like the Sayl's rounded base design, the rounded top, as I work barefoot most amount of time, and it is just not as comfortable to rest my feet on the top of ErgoChair's base as it is a bit sharp. Other than that, no complaints here. Sayl also offers higher grade casters for extra $50, but I think the bigger rubber wheels that I bought to replace the original casters would roll better on carpets as well. My Sayl had arrived all assembled, so I just opened the box and it was basically ready to go. Whereas ErgoChair needed a good session with my kiddos to assemble it. I actually enjoyed this type of activity with them, so actually points to ErgoChair for me, but I know some of you just can't really be bothered. In terms of the design, I really like the overall look of Sayl. They also offer lots of different color options and can be configured in different ways. But it can really up the prices quite high in magnitude of several $100s. I think ErgoChair's design is simple, especially without armrests and a headrest. And they offer just two colors, black and gray. As I have said earlier, I don't use armrests, and that's why I have ordered the fixed armrest for Sayl, which is the cheapest. Herman Miller offers 3 different tiers of armrests on sale. Each tier costs $60 and $70 from the fixed kind that I got. Since ErgoChair is just one tier, you will get the highly adjustable armrest no matter what. Sad that I have to keep it in a box, but I'm sure you'll enjoy if you use the armrests. Finally, the cost. Herman Miller Sayl is actually one of the cheaper chairs from their lineup. Very popular Aaron chair is more than $1,000 even at the most basic level, and Sayl can be configured to be up to $1,300. Whereas ProtoArc's ErgoChair 100 is just $189. So I'll let you think about those numbers. Originally, I was really hesitant to compare these two chairs as they are really different classes, but I have been really bothered by this noise Sayl makes, and after trying ErgoChair, it is quite comfortable but doesn't make that kind of noise, so I switched over. I know I switched over because of the chair noise, and I guess I need to figure out what I need to do with this expensive chair that I'm not using. Anyways, I probably held you here longer than I should. If you got any value out of this video, please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel to continue watching these type of videos. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye.